Hello everybody, it's Jackie's with Jackie's Recent Things, and we're going to do the curl loop method. First thing we're going to do is we're going to straighten our ties out and open them up. We're going to start on the bottom of our frame. Now for this method, we're going to use 21-inch mesh. I used two different colors, and I cut each color 12 inches long. Let's get started. So we're going to roll the mesh up. And then for those of you, just to make sure it's exact, you're going to go about 6 inches for your tail. And you'll tie it in. So every time that you make your tail, you might need to roll it up a little bit more. Going to go 6 inches, and then you're going to lay it into the next tie. Now, after you put that in, you're going to kind of pull your mesh apart. Make sure that you leave the cut edge toward the inside when you pull this out. Because then otherwise, if you don't, you'll have a lot of ugly fray hanging out, and you don't want that. This is what you're going to end up with. You're going to end up with a spiral and a little poof. So we'll go on to the next color. Again, roll it up. Pinch down about 6 inches. Tie it in. Now once you tie in a few, you'll probably get pretty good at eyeballing the 6 inches, and you won't have to measure it. I just like to measure to make sure that my tails are going to be consistent so that my wreath will be nice and rounded looking. Now if you want to, before you go pulling all these out, you can go all the way around your frame and then come back and poof those out. Now once again, this is a perfect technique for leftover mesh. Now on the bottom, I'm not untying the tie. This is a pencil work form. Now if you were using a work form, which the ties are a whole lot thicker and they're not as long, you definitely need to untie the ties. I'm going to go ahead and grab my 6 inches on both sides. And I'm just going to hold it. Now, if you want to do like I did, you don't quite have the hand strength, and you want to just go ahead and measure your 6 inches, get your handy dandy little clip out, clip it, clip it, and then it'll free up your hand to tie it in. Whatever is easiest for you. I'm just going to clip that side because I don't need to clip this side. Doing that will also help hold your curl in. Now, if you have an odd number of ties, you can use 3 colors. Now that we're back around, all right. Now we've come all the way around the bottom, so now we're ready to work on the top. So I'm going to kind of push my bottom ties out of the way. And I'm going to open up my top ties. And just like on the bottom, we're going to alternate our ties. Always making sure that we poop that out. Keep your cut edge rolled to the inside when you poop that out so that your fray's not sticking out. So even when you place your roll in your tie, make sure that the cut edge is facing downward. Now this technique overall really doesn't use that much mesh. And it is, like I said, perfect for those, once again, leftover rolls. It's actually a perfect technique also for odd number of ties, because then you can use 3 different colors. And not just 2. And we're almost all the way back around, and you're probably looking over going, Jackie, I've got mesh left over. Why? Because you told me to cut 13 of each color. Yes, why yes, I did. Okay, so now that we've come all the way around, this base is still a little bit thin. It's not really full enough because you can still see the frame in areas. So we're going to go around the top one more time to finish filling it in. So we're going to push these back. Now, what we're going to do, and guess what, because we're going back around, you kind of won't have to measure. You can be able to eyeball this because you're going to lay it back in and go right back over. Now, I am going to untie it this time because we're stacking in more mesh to the tie. And we don't want a huge, ugly wad. So I'm going to untie it, like I said, at the top here. And that's how we're going to fill our base out a little bit more. Is by going around one more time. Now I'm going to go back to doing this because I just find it a little bit quicker for me. Once you get done, if you've got any frays sticking out, you go back and cut them off and trim it up. Once again, I am untying my ties because that's a lot of mesh to pack in. You want to leave room for ribbon. I'm not really poofing these last ones out too much because it doesn't really need it. Notice I'm taking my last one, I'm pushing it, and I'm coming around this. So it's kind of a fun base because you've got a lot of curls. So because it's got a lot of curls to it and it's got a lot of fun, I would cut my ribbon only about 12 inches for this technique. Because you really want the spirals to kind of stick out. It's a really good technique too for your premium mesh. Because it'll help you get more bang. And now we're all the way back around, so if you still see gaps, just go back. Poof your mesh out a bit to fill those. And there you have it. That's the curl loop method, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Hope you enjoy using this wreath base. Bye, y'all.